Hi, welcome to another live episode of the Edge podcast, live from CES. I have my co-host here with me, Myles.
Yo.
And then we have a very special guest, Sarah Caputo. Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I recently went out on my own as an independent consultant, and by happenstance, found out I can sit at the intersection of enterprises and tech companies to try and offer the value on their go-to-market. And ultimately, what I really am is my tagline's outcome obsessed,
Love it.
really about reducing waste, trying to get stronger go-to-market prioritization and plans, and consulting on the data strategies that are going to move the needle so that you have like a better through line between investment and outcomes.
Nice.
I love that. Also, just for the audience, your background is traditionally on the buy side, right? You've been a marketer on the brand side, at the agency side.
That's correct. Yeah,
Correct?
I was a
Okay.
CDO at an agency. I was at Allstate corporate side 8 years. So I definitely have a different take on the mentality. I'm not as technical as you guys, but I
don't know
dabble a lot. I like to dabble a lot. I'm a nerd.
Awesome. We love that. Okay, let's get into it. So we'll start with some news of the week.
Yeah.
Lots of news this week at CES, a lot of announcements, partnerships, etc. But one piece of news that kind of slipped under the radar, I want to say before the new year, was Meta acquired a company called Manus for $2 billion. That was the rumor. And Manus is essentially like an agentic, it basically brings agents to the mainstream. It allows consumers to build agents to do all sorts of different things, right? So while you can build an agent in ChatGPT, or in Gemini or things like that, they're not typically agents that you can kind of run over and over and over again, or agents that you can kind of fit into different workflows. And I think Manus enables that. So it was fascinating. It was actually, I think Manus is the company, or they were like the fastest company to $100 million ARR ever.
Wow.
And so really interesting acquisition. I want to say it's the largest acquisition Meta has made since Instagram. So anyways, very interesting. Lots of implications, obviously, for their consumer-facing products, but then also I think lots of implications for advertising and marketing. So any initial kind of reactions to that news or any thoughts?
I think that AI in general has the biggest unlock for SMBs. And when I think about SMBs on Meta, they actually make up a large lion's share of revenue.
Big time.
And if you feel through competition and media buying, whoever gets there first when it comes to this automation, you're going to follow the dollars that way. So part of this could have been about expediency to that and to make sure that SMBs aren't going to actually move away from their platform. This is just hypothesis, of course. And then, Myles, I think you have a take. I won't steal your thunder.
So I love that you called out sort of the long tail of SMBs that run on Meta. I had not necessarily put two and two together on what I have thought about in the past is Meta making inroads into just other areas of marketing, such as service, like customer service and enabling SMBs with more stuff there. So maybe agentic tooling for SMBs just to remove all kinds of digital friction points for them. They've already removed a lot of friction points in advertising. Maybe there's other parts of an SMB's operations that they can remove friction points for. Know that my little conspiracy theory is that maybe, and this is the total conspiracy theory, I cannot back
We're
this up.
both cynics. It's fine. We both said the same thing on this.
With any evidence is that Meta, much like OpenAI, for instance, maybe less so with Google, needs to figure out what is useful about AI to all of the billions of people who use Meta. Meta has spent more than all of these other platforms buying and hoarding GPUs, building out data centers. They have to figure out how to make AI useful in order to get a payback on all that CapEx on AI. And if they can buy a tool like Manus where people are building useful things, they can observe what is the most useful and then potentially take the, the Amazon Basics route and just make it for themselves.
Well, I think it's interesting you bring that up, right? Because we've talked on the podcast before about how Meta may be at a disadvantage versus some of the other big tech companies when it comes to AI.
Yeah.
Because they've put in all the CapEx, but they have no infrastructure play.
Right.
They have no cloud platform.
Right.
They don't make chips. And so it's all like their entire AI value prop has been rooted in like, hey, we're using AI to make the ads algo better, or like we're creating Advantage
Right.
Plus.
Yeah.
And it's like, everyone's kind of doing that. Like that's not really a moat anymore, right? And so buying Manus is an interesting strategic play for them because it's like, okay, well, they're going into Agentic, obviously. They're maybe focused a little bit more on consumer. Obviously, I think it'll make its way into the ad platform as well and be part of Advantage Plus. But that's a really interesting kind of line or thread to pull on.
Yeah, I mean, I love connecting the dots back to SMBs though. I had not
I
because
have one more theory too.
Go.
Yes.
Think about wearables.
Okay.
That's hardware. They've got software. It's kind of akin to CTV hardware software. That's winning that combination. So wearables unlocks geo data. It also unlocks search behavior maps. Think about potential product expansion that Manus
Sure.
might underpin because they have
Yes.
experience in other forms of advertising.
Yes.
And whether they're going to monetize differently and expand outside the traditional social model using Manus as kind of the software layer potentially and getting in more of the wearables. I'm just wondering if there's something there.
I love that too. I mean, because Meta, I think all of the platforms like say Google, Amazon, Meta all have this opportunity. OpenAI less so because they're so much newer and OpenAI doesn't really sell anything other than AI stuff. But Meta is in a unique position to connect AI's usefulness to the real world. Just because a product like Manus or other products like Cursor or Lovable are typically used in these digital-only environments by vibe coders who are not kind of building things for the real world. They're building like software productivity tools, which are useful in these very narrow circumstances. Again, getting back to you mentioning SMBs. Newsflash, there's billions of people in the world, there's millions of businesses, and a lot of them exist in the real world, and they're going to need AI to be useful outside of like a coding environment kind of a thing.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like we could talk about Manus for a lot longer, but we're going to keep moving. So other news to hit on. I'm going to kind of lightning round. You guys don't have to comment on everything, just for the listeners. Walmart introduced ads in Sparky. So Sparky is kind of like the AI chatbot on Walmart, and Amazon's version is Rufus.
And it has ads.
And now it has ads.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Are you shocked? You're shocked. I'm
No,
shocked.
I'm not.
Why are they both named after dogs, though? Like
Everyone
Amazon,
loves
Rufus?
dogs.
I guess.
How can you not love dogs?
If your AI is a dog, then you're gonna love it, right? So okay.
I'm
so
going to
there's
tell my kids I'm getting them a dog, and it's going to be a robot dog.
it's gonna be an AI dog.
I'm going to hate you.
So there's that. No surprise there, and it's just a precursor. Also, OpenAI is now more kind of publicly talking about ads. There was some like stuff circulating how employees are starting to prototype the ads in ChatGPT. That is coming any day now. It has to be coming any day, especially with all the pressure that they are facing from investments. And
I have an
shareholders.
idea on that for them.
What's your idea?
It's for free, just in case
Sam?
Sam wants.
Is Sam listening?
He better
Sam,
be.
if you want to use this, well,
should
maybe it's
start
not for
listening.
free. I want to cut.
Okay.
Let's just face it. I need retirement. Come on. My feeling is everyone's thinking about it too much like Google in terms of monetization. They have to keep agnosticism alive.
Big time.
It would really be, I don't want to say detrimental because that's a strong word, but I feel like that alignment has that push and pull that he has publicly shared that same concern. What if he monetized ads differently like YouTube, where you're pre-roll advertising? Brands advertise on the platform not for shopping products, but actually for access before you enter in to the platform.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, so I saw one of the prototypes that was floating around, and it was like a sidebar. So they had like a sidebar of like, hey, based on the things that you've been chatting with ChatGPT about, you could be interested in this
Like
or that.
bifurcating the UI so that
Yeah,
it doesn't feel as an embedded and a conflict of interest. But I do think they could do a freemium model on their software and start monetizing like a pre-roll video where consumers can actually pay, and then that inventory unlock for us as advertisers would be amazing. That feels like such easy an easy implementation, in my opinion, that could get them immediate dollars without this conflict of interest. So Sam, you can call me.
Yeah, I mean, he
He's
gets
also from St. Louis, like me, by the way.
he gets a lot of flack for like not having implemented ads sooner.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that like I don't think it's that cut and dry that you just insert what are basically 25-year-old Google search ads into this new technology and expect that that's going to be the big long-term moneymaker. Maybe it will be, but I wouldn't count on it.
I don't think they should replay the playbook. I think they should think about it differently.
Yeah.
And I think they are, right?
Yeah,
I think
right.
that's kudos to Sam. Like, I think they are. So, okay. Next thing, Reddit announced some new Performance Advantage Plus Max campaign product.
Thank goodness.
And
We're,
so
we're
now-
all holding our breath on that one.
So I did this morning. So every walled garden has one of these now. It started with Google Performance Max. Facebook has Advantage Plus. Amazon has Performance Plus.
It'd be a great
That's
quiz
correct.
question to
They
put
also
them
have a
in
brand
chronological
product
order.
too. There's a brand.
Oh yeah,
product
there's
as well.
Performance Plus and Brand Plus. Yes,
Exactly. Plus.
yes.
Oh, wow.
I
Plus
think there's a
squared.
company that has a plus. So, anyways, I took all the words and I was like, okay, if you put all the words on like a board, that's all these product marketers are probably doing. They're like, I'm gonna pick this
Trade Desk
word
just launched
and this
performance mode.
one. Performance mode.
Correct. Yeah.
I did not hear about that.
That's new too.
So anyways, the theme there is every company is launching these autonomous, end to end. Hey, it does everything, right? Planning, creative, strategy, activation, optimization, analytics, measurement. Like our thing does all of the stuff. And I find that, it's not like mind blowing. Obviously, this was going to happen. But what I'm starting to think is that it's not, back to what I was saying earlier, it's not a moat anymore to have this. Because everyone has one. And so the idea of AI creating operational efficiency is not a differentiator in today's world anymore. And so the differentiator is going to be the same things. It's going to be the same stuff that it's always been. It's scale, it's data, it's quality, it's relevance, it's audience. But that stuff's going to be even more important because now you're taking out the whole we are better because we have a great UI. Oh, we are better because we save you time. Oh, we are better because we are operationally more efficient. All of that stuff is going to not matter that much.
We throw the best party it can.
That might still matter.
Oh, sorry. I think you were talking about things that don't matter.
That
I was
still
saying
matters.
the can party matters. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's a differentiator.
That's a
In the newer-
differentiator, yeah.
More important in the new world. But anyways, any takes on just all of these, autonomous tools, what they mean for the industry, what they mean for marketers?
Yeah, agencies are concerned, and I feel like quite a few don't have a value prop, and this is the issue with, frankly, the technology created an issue where we offered less service and strategy.
Yeah.
And more commoditization. So to me, I'm super excited. At the end of the day, I always break it down, and this is why I get so passionate in conversations, that the consumer pays for our industry's bloat and excess. And there's a lot of it, and a lot of it's hidden. When you uncover it and unpack it, customer acquisition costs are inflated unnecessarily because of this. And I think we all have a responsibility to unpack that. So where I align but don't, I think the operation part is so important because consumers pay a tax. We all pay a tax. And it will allow us to do more efficiently and cut those costs. So the service model, in my opinion, needs to pivot to driving business outcomes, business strategy, and advisory. It needs to be market research and trends. The thing that enterprises don't need, nor should they do, I've sat in this seat, is it's hard to keep up with the day-to-day technology to know what you should actually look at. Everything's a shiny object, and that it becomes distraction to customer value and your product. And when you in-house that, you start to become distracted, and that's actually not a good thing. So I think outsourcing that to people like me, which is what I'm doing, to try and play that intermediary to say, no, look here, here, and here. I can, in a fraction of the time, make recommendations just because I live, eat, and breathe it. But brands shouldn't need to touch this. They need the outside experts. So to me, it becomes more about advisory. The last point on that is it's really important to get right, especially if you have an exit event you're planning. You have to prove customer acquisition costs and where that growth came from if you want to sell. Your valuation is going to suffer if you have the wrong data and the wrong tech stack. So I think some of this unlock is going to happen on the operational side that I'm really excited. beyond the up-leveling of product, which I'm also excited about.
I love the POV on the agency value prop. We've talked about this, I think, on the pod on other episodes. It's something I think a lot about. I'm one of these people who I don't think the AI is going to kill agencies. I think the agency model will pivot. And I really like the point that I think you made to, hopefully I'm paraphrasing you correctly, or this is my kind of take on it, is as AI, for instance, explodes, and just technology in general and digital in general, explodes the potential number of shiny objects that an advertiser can pick up and look at and maybe buy and add to the shelf of other shiny objects that they bought. The agency as a filter layer becomes so much more important because that advertiser does not have the time, should not be taking the time to look at all those shiny objects because 99% of them just aren't going to
You're
yield a
going
lot
to get
of
lost
results.
fast. That's such a resource drain. And I
Yeah.
don't recommend it. I mean, Yahoo just launched their agentic workflow successfully, apparently yesterday, and the news came out. And I'm really interested to see what that will do. I have a theory here. Of course, I'm full of them. It's going to be easier to move to DSPs. What creates friction with DSP movement is training in the UI. And when you remove that friction, you're actually more on equal footing, and it's harder. It's harder now to move DSP seats. The traders are hugely valuable in the decision-making process. When you remove that friction, when you make it easier, you have to sit in the traders' seats. I always consult on this. Think about how much risk they have in buttons, and anything they're setting up. It's costing millions, and you could make errors, and it's scary.
Yeah.
So they have to feel comfortable in the UI, and changing seats is scary. Changing partners is scary. So
Yeah.
I think actually part of this is not only going to help from a workflow perspective. These are the things that they don't want to do. It's tedious. They can focus more now on strategy, and I think that it might even the playing field a little bit more on the DSP side.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit more into your work. So you run Fraction Method. Obviously, you kind of gave a little bit of a, how you're helping brands. I'd also be interested in some of your takes on CTV. I know you're working on some CTV things as well. And obviously, there's a lot of announcements right now around AI and how it's affecting or impacting the CTV space. So can you tell us a little bit about that and a little bit more about your work?
Yeah, I'm super excited about the CTV space. I went to a company that I met at a conference. They have a patented product in email and text and in-app communications that's like global brands are adopting it like crazy. It's JavaScript called MP5, so you can now actually have video and email for the first time ever. So I went.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's insane. Spotify Wrapped,
Uh-huh.
powered and underpinned by this technology, Blinks.
All right.
And I'm a partner of theirs because, I worked my way in. And it is brilliant. I was like, couldn't this work in CTV? It is JavaScript instead of heavy MP4 containers that are locked. It is kilobytes. What this could theoretically do, and I'm POCing this now with partners, is it can reduce the data costs, which is substantial, millions of dollars, down to like 90 to 95% less, which is substantial. The second thing is that it's flexible. So you think about the bid stream and being able to actually improve that, the win rates. So when you talk operations, going back to your point earlier on AI, this actually is, if someone got exclusivity on this, they would actually have a competitive edge. No pun intended with the edge. Yes, you caught that. And I was thinking, this is actually what AI needs for personalization and video. This is not DCO. The data does not leave client native systems and environments, and it uses edge computing. So the data renders on the device. So this type of technology is actually what CTV needs in order to scale personalization.
Interesting.
That's fascinating.
Can you imagine? And there's an interactive layer elements that you can do too. Just like Amazon's successful in that with the click to email and other like trivia, this actually has that capability. It's kind of like Brightline, but like a supercharged Brightline augment. If you've never heard of Brightline, they have interactive ad units.
Yeah.
I have two questions. One is, can we use it for our newsletter?
Oh, I like
Put
that.
videos in our newsletter?
You absolutely could.
Okay, thank you.
I'll give you the wholesale rate, Shiv.
Second question is this kind of, I guess it's not a question, it's a statement. Did anybody watch Silicon Valley?
No.
You
What
didn't-
is that?
I'm sorry, I did
You
not.
haven't seen
I-
Silicon
I'm-
Valley?
I'm really
It's a
sorry.
hilarious TV show about Silicon Valley. Okay, never mind.
I have been working, Shiv. I don't know what
It's
you were
like
doing,
a
but
5-year-old, 10-year-old
Yeah,
show. Yeah.
At
Oh,
least
okay.
10.
I didn't
yeah.
even
Brad, off camera, Brad's seen Silicon
I
Valley.
have never even
You
heard of
guys
it.
are lame. I'm not.
I'm so lame. I've
But
never heard
anyways,
of
there was the product that they built in this. I bet 95% of our listeners have seen Silicon Valley.
Oh wait, I think I can. Was it Pied Piper?
Yeah, Pied Piper.
okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
See, I didn't
Sorry,
remember the
I'm
name
not
of the company.
so culturally
Is this
It sounds
a
kinda
Shoutcast
like
or a
Pied Piper.
Shamecast? I feel like
Yeah, right now it's
Shamecast.
Shamecast.
I'm gonna
Pied
sit in the
Piper.
corner.
It sounds like Pied Piper. The product sounds like Pied Piper because the Pied Piper product was all about reducing size of
Yeah.
files
Yeah.
immensely.
this isn't even a file. It's
I think that's what it was
a totally different thing. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad I got your approval. It actually is genius and it's patented, so I'm pretty excited.
Very cool.
I hope it works.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Sarah.
Yeah, thank
It's been
you.
lovely. And thank you to our listeners for joining the AI Edge podcast live from CES.
Oh my gosh, you
Vegas.
guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.